Welcome back, and it's still Rubbin Minds. Just quickly touching on the issue of the Dapchi girls. We're still going to dovetail into that, but I wanted us to just take that statement because we've got a couple of tweets here. And T.Y. Danjuma said a lot of things, but this one is the one that's really scary on the issue of security. I quote, "Our armed forces are not neutral. They collude with the bandits to kill people, kill Nigerians. The armed forces guide their movements. They cover them. If you're depending on the armed forces to stop the killings, you will all die one by one." That is an extremely scary statement to make. And if there's any iota of truth in that statement, then it explains a lot as to why insecurity is the order of the day. What's your take on this?
I think this is a very weighty statement, and then particularly coming from, I'm more perturbed because it's coming from a personality, T.Y. Danjuma. And if you also consider the fact that former military giants in this country have been talking about the incapacity of the current administration to tackle insecurity, tackle economy, tackle this, tackle that, and all that, then you would also know that even the president might be in some trouble right now, because I do not know. I mean, if a retired general could be telling us that we need to also defend ourselves and that he does not think that the current military has the capacity to tackle insecurity in this country, then we are in for a very
Is it possible the
time.
president as an individual is not as aware as, for example, a T.Y. Danjuma? Because it seems his intelligence is from somewhere else.
How can you not be aware as the president of Nigeria? You meet with all the security chiefs probably on a weekly basis, and then you receive intelligence reports.
But his action is based on what they tell him, and if they're not telling him much, then he can't do much.
Then you fire them.
Oh my goodness. You even have other people that are giving you back-end reports. Aside from what the security chiefs are giving you every time, every now and then, he has his own, build-up of security-conscious people who are probably not known to a lot of us, who are also giving him back-end reports. So on the basis of all of that, if you put this report and this other one together and you do not meet at a juncture, then you should probably do what Bola has just said. You fire them. It's simple.
But I actually think it is a lack of discipline and a lack of leadership if the president is claiming he is not aware of some of the allegations made by T.Y. Danjuma, and if they are true. Because
has it come out to state?
No, they've not.
But what do you think is going through the president's mind now? If a T.Y. Danjuma can make this statement to the public, he's not been known to act.
T.Y. Danjuma does not. He hardly makes statements.
No, I'm talking about the president. The president has not been known to act in terms of, for example, firing the chief of staff or whoever that needs to be fired. So what do you think the next line of action might be from the presidency based on this statement?
Okay, well, for me, let me put myself in the position of the president now. If I am to be the president and such statement is coming up, apart from having I don't need to go through my chiefs of staff this time around, because I believe that they are incompetent. I'd rather go to the DSS and the NIA. At least NIA has some bit of operations across the country in Nigeria, and DSS also, they are answerable to me. The police as well, no matter how difficult they might be in some situations, they actually know some of the things that are happening. They are one of the most closest person to the closest agency to the grassroots.
Wale, why do you think? Sorry to cut you, but Wale, why do you think that heads have not rolled?
I do not know why the president is not doing the needful, because I'm even disappointed with the way he handled the IG matter, the other day. If a president could actually come boldly on national TV to say that he was not aware that the IG did not go to wherever he asked him to go to, then there is a problem. And I really do not want to blame a few other people very close to the president, because I think that the president is the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and if you think that something is faulty somewhere, you should do the needful to ensure that justice is served. I mean, if there are a lot of people who have been alleged to have committed one crime or the other very close to you, and you have not done anything to ensure that they serve as, massive deterrents to other people, then I think there is a major problem in the presidency. Now, this is another clear sign that the president needs to do the needful. Coming from General T.Y. Danjuma, somebody who is very, 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 very quiet, and is speaking up right now, joining the former General Obasanjo joining former IBB, General Babangida joining other people to say that this is not right, this is not going well, and we are also feeling the heat. The economy is not well structured, managed, insecurity everywhere. You're hearing of Boko Haram spreading their tentacles, you're hearing about herdsmen every now and then. Even moving down south now from what we are hearing. And so the president needs to do, the needful, and then ensure that if he does not have capable ends in certain quarters, he fires those ones who are there presently, and then he recruits fresh bloods, people who have classical orientation, who can actually lead these emergencies in the board. I think we need to do something about it.
All right. On the final note, let's just look at the issue of I think, is it trust versus competency? If you look at President Donald Trump, who fired his Secretary of State recently, the underlying factor was the fact that there wasn't loyalty. Do you think that, for example, if the presidency is compromised, he's holding on to some people that should not be there because he trusts them, rather than the competency that they should be displaying?
Now, are we talking about the issue of based on trust or performing the duty you've been elected, you've been voted in to perform?
Very quickly, let's touch on this. There needs to be an explanation as to why there hasn't been any repercussions at any level.
No, because now the issue is this. I think that the president owes loyalty, just as you said, at a higher stake than the lives of the average Nigerian. Because, first and foremost, he made mention of the issue of the IG, one of the most incompetent fellows ever that I've ever had that position. And with all the opera that has been going on, the president still refused to remove that man. Same also, the chief of staffs, this is not the first time, he did not only, he has ensured that he reappointed, he ensured that they were reappointed twice as well. And we were still talking about incompetence. Now we have the T.Y. Danjuma issue as well. Let's see. I'm going to wait for 48 hours, but let's see what goes on.
All right, then we'll have a quick timeout. Still rubbing minds. It's getting very hot in here. Let's cool off. We'll be back after this.